Good morning, Tarkov. How you guys doing? Yeah, I was actually typing up my notes. I lost track of time. My bad, guys. 1 minute late. Oh, please forgive me. Please forgive me 1 minute late. Well, welcome to Good Morning Tarkov, where we talk everything Tarkov in the mornings, of course, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern United States time. Yes, I understand that is not the morning for everyone in the world, and yes, I understand that it's a bit difficult for people in the United States to get to this, but that's why the VOD is here, and that's why Spotify is here. So if you guys are watching the VOD, which most of you listening to this right now will be, you can check out the description and the top comment where I'm going to have some timestamps there so that you can keep up with the discussion for today, and then also the Spotify link as well. So if you want to listen to it with without data or whatever everyone wanted Spotify for, there's some kind of I honestly don't even know what Spotify does differently, but everyone wanted it, so it's up there on Spotify. So the link should be down there somewhat soon after the stream has ended. So today's topic is when to stop playing Tarkov. Bit of an interesting topic, but we'll get to that in a second. First, we need to wait for people to actually get here. We need to let people funnel on in, trickle on in, as one man would say it, as one man would phrase that, trickle on in. So we'll get to the good mornings while we're sitting here. How dare you be 1 minute late? Yeah, sorry, Raleigh. How you doing? Hammer time, how you doing? Tarky time? Tarky discussion time. We do need to figure out how I'm gonna get gameplay onto here. I think the afternoon stream is probably gonna be a gameplay thing, but also I'm more than a bit jealous about Twitch Rivals. Like, I wish I could have taken part in Twitch Rivals, which actually I think I could have if I actually tried, because I am an affiliate. I'm not a partner, and I think affiliates still took part in it, but still. I like what Twitch is doing over there, how they're doing those tournaments and stuff. That looked like a lot of fun to take part in, so I need to get my shit together. I need to figure out where I want to put my gameplay so that I can take part in as much cool stuff as I possibly can. And Twitch is involved with that somewhere, but also what's involved in that is the Discord. The Discord is finished, guys. Our Discord is finished, but I am not inviting people yet. We are not inviting people yet because we need to make sure it's done right, and I don't want a flood of people. If we do find a problem, I don't want a flood of people coming in to witness that problem or to really be annoyed by that problem. So right now, I have a small group of friends in there right now, and they're basically just trying their best to break it, and they are doing very well at breaking it. So that's why I said this weekend. This is Wednesday, so... Or sorry, this is Thursday, right? It's this Thursday. Oh my god, it's actually a big day. We need to pay attention. Fuck. I should have set my alarm for fucking 7 a.m. actually today. I should have been paying attention to Twitter. Alright, so today might be a big day. We need to pay attention to Twitter today because BSG might say something. But maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's a sign that I didn't notice it in time because they didn't actually say anything. So maybe I should have talked about something different today. We'll see what ends up happening. But in theory, today would be a very good day for them to like say something about a podcast. They wouldn't say anything about a patch, but what they would do is say something about a podcast, or maybe we get the new Streets leak, not leak, but tease. I think today would be a very interesting day for them to do something. So stay tuned to the Twitter and yell at me in chat if they end up do tweeting and I end up missing it. But I have my Twitter open for Battlestate Games right now. Anyway, excuse me, guys. but yeah, so tomorrow there's going to be a Star Citizen event starting with a free fly event. So Star Citizen is going to be free to play tomorrow, and we're going to be able to we're going to be able to rent a bunch of ships and be able to fly around a bunch of ships. And I also have a bunch of ships as well. So since this isn't a Star Citizen channel, that would be a nice soft launch. So if there just happens to be people that are into Star Citizen that have the persistent universe ready to go, you guys will be invited to the Discord first, because I don't want all of the Tarkov boys to be there just yet. Like I said, soft launch. This isn't going to be just everyone yet, and then we're gonna work on the features, and then we're gonna be using the voice chat stuff, and then we're gonna make sure everything is actually working somewhat correctly before we let all the Tarkov boys in, and then the Tarkov groups are gonna start. So people were wondering, when am I gonna do my Sherpa runs again? Because I actually still owe a bunch of people from Twitch Sherpa runs. Because back in the day, you know, several months ago when I was on Twitch, subs would be able to do Sherpa runs with me. I'd be able to bring them through Tarkov and whatnot. And if I'm not on Twitch, I obviously can't do those Sherpa runs. So we're going to figure that out, and we're going to have that up on Discord. Whether I'm live or not, you guys can sign up, and then you can actually, I am going to run you through Tarkov, so that we can hopefully get you what you need to know, or get you through what you need to get through in order to thrive in Tarkov. And that's going to either be some kind of video or some kind of stream or something. But it's also the start of the community games, and it's also the start of the rank system that we have in the new Discord, because it is going to be a public Discord, but there's going to be a rank system to it. So I'm going to make a video talking about that once we are through the soft launch and once we have all the kinks worked out and stuff like that. So you'll hear more about that later. But get ready for the Discord, because we're not just doing Tarkov. We're going to be doing Star Citizen. We're doing Ashes of Creation. We're doing the RTS games that I'm into. We're doing the other survival games that I'm into. It's going to be the nice guy community home, and with a big focus on everyone playing together, like in game. I really want to have some really cool stuff happening in terms of community games going every single weekend, at least, if not like every day. I doubt it'll be every day, but at least every single weekend, I want to have like a cool community event where we try and get a bunch of people together to play something together, or at least discuss something or take part in something together. Whereas if we have something like Escape from Tarkov, where of course only 5 people can get together, maybe 10 if you guys end up doing like the 10 group stuff, the 10-man group stuff where you all pack into a server, that kind of a thing. Maybe something like that where would be every once in a while we would talk about doing something like that, but then games that we can actually all play together, like a Rust or like a DayZ, or I don't know, something that we get enlisted, maybe something that we can all actually get into. That's going to be a lot. That's going to be a very common thing on that Discord. But that's soon TM. We're doing the soft launch this weekend with Star Citizen, so stay tuned for that. And then after the soft launch kinks are worked out, we go to Tarkov. All right. Good day, Carl. Morning, Alexander. How you doing? No jinx again, please. No, yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Morning. Morning, Buzz. The answer is never. I don't know what is the question though. I finally am able to make it while instead of Spotify. Hey, Sauce. Vortex, bonjour. Spotify is great for mobile users, so have it in play in the background without paying for YouTube Premium. That's a good point, Pasquale. That's a good point. Let's say, yeah, not yet. We need to do it right. So, because if something goes wrong, I don't want everyone there because what happens immediately with Discord, which also is by default, guys. By default, all the notifications are going to be like turned off and shit. By default, that is. Theoretically. So hopefully that's also working, because we did get a report about that possibly not being the case for some of the things. So that's what the soft launch is for. So I don't want everyone showing up in there and then they do get a ping, because the last thing I want is unprioritized pings in that Discord. You shouldn't get a ping unless it actually fornicating matters to something that you care about. So there's like separate groups for the separate games, and then you have to go and you have to choose whether you want to get a ping about anything regardless. And so I'm completely setting up this Discord so that you guys automatically will never get pinged, will never get annoyed by anything going on in that Discord, period. So that's what the soft launch is for, and that's what all that other extra stuff is for. All right. But let's move on from that, because I'm gonna be making a video and I'll be talking about that later. But I hope you guys are all doing well. This is the Good Morning Tarkov, so hopefully everyone's having a good morning, or they've had a good day so far. But we're gonna get into today's topic. Let's get into today's topic. We'll turn the music down just a smidge. So, when to stop playing Tarkov? This is a bit of an interesting topic because you guys, if you guys hang out in the comments section, or if maybe you've talked about this before, you've probably heard me or seen me reply with something similar to this in the past. There's an easy answer to when it comes to when to stop playing Tarkov. The easy answer is, are you mad? If you are actually genuinely mad at the game, stop playing. Are you disappointed? Leave feedback and then stop playing. There's a difference there, because if you're actually mad, chances are you don't really have a clear mind. If you're just disappointed and you would rather play something else, like, you're not having fun. Obviously, if you're mad, you're not having fun. Although maybe for some people, if you are mad, sometimes that is having fun these days. I see my friends rage at Valorant all the time, and they seem to always keep playing it. So whatever. And part of that might be Tarkov as well. If you are mad, it's like a competitive thing. Even if you're like super frustrated and angry at something, you still want to keep playing it. I can see that. But if you genuinely in your heart are actually mad and you're not enjoying your experience, then stop playing. And then if you're disappointed about something where you're also not having fun, leave feedback and then stop playing, because that'll actually be able to help. That'll be helpful to BSG. That's actually something good. That's what we were actually here for. And the difference is that you have a clear mind, or theoretically, you should have a clearer mind when you're disappointed as opposed to just mad or angry. And in theory, you should be able to leave more clear feedback instead of, this shit's stupid, this is broken, fix your fucking game, fix desync, fix all that. Instead, it's just like, this server at this time, we did have quite a bit of desync, and it really frustrated me, so I'm going to take a break for a while. Whatever. That's genuine feedback. And then if you leave the right info behind, they'll actually be able to know like what your region is, and maybe they can figure out if it's like a server if it actually is a server problem, maybe it's a server hosting problem, maybe it's a number of things that they can go and investigate. So proper feedback helps with that. But it needs to be clear, not like, you guys are idiots, fix your fucking game. Like, stuff like that doesn't actually help. So the other answer here is, technically, you have never played Escape from Tarkov. No one has actually played Escape from Tarkov except for maybe Nikita in his head. And the reason why no one has played Escape from Tarkov yet is because it's not done. No one has actually played the finished product. Like, this is not Escape from Tarkov. This is not the full game. This is not what the game is supposed to be. There's so much extra stuff that's going to be added to this game that is going to change it. This is why I have my Changing Point playlist. This is why I make my videos talking about this stuff. This is purely testing specific aspects of that final game, and we have not even gotten a chance to see what that final product is because we don't have those things. So if we go back to Nikita's Q&A here, and I'll put this up on screen. I'll put this up on screen so it's easier for you guys to see here. Go to monitor. All right. We go back over to Nikita's Q&A here, and transition over there. So number 9 of my Nikita Q&A, which if you guys haven't seen that, I'll link it after this. Let me just get to this real quick. Actually, you know what? I have it right here. We can just go to the this is the forum post for it. Oops. This is the forum post for it. If you guys haven't seen it, I also have a video specifically talking about that. This is the forum post for it, so make sure you go check that out if you haven't yet, because that is my personal Q&A with Nikita himself. So I asked him, if you guys like my stuff, and if you've been following me for a while, this is probably the same kind of questions, the same kind of stuff that you would be thinking about. So it's probably good. It's probably your kind of Q&A. All right. So if we go back to question number 9 here, I asked, what are your current thoughts on the gameplay loop of Escape from Tarkov? We know you have many new features planned, but generally speaking, do you think the day-to-day play roughly represents what the game will look like around launch, or will it be much different? Nikita answered, it will be different, of course, because right now it's in testing. Although not everyone understands this, and they say, it's not a test, it's already a completed game. This is why this Q&A was like so big for me, because I've been yelling about this stuff for like 2 years now, and everyone says like, it's just not what's your source? That's one of the big things I always get. Who's your source? Where'd you get this information from? Who said this stuff? Fucking Nikita himself. So thankfully he was able to answer my questions, and I got this Q&A, because now we just have that more up-to-date stuff instead of just me listening to his podcasts over the years and then generally just here and there picking stuff up. but this is literally from him himself. So, Nikita, that's my fucking source, guys. This is what he's going, and he's the lead dev of the game. This is his baby. This is his child. Escape from Tarkov is going to represent what he wants it to represent because it is his game. This is Nikita. So, it's not done yet. No one has played the real Escape from Tarkov yet. That's also a thing to keep in mind. While we're here, let's go through the rest of this here. So Nikita says that also, continuing with what Nikita said here, it will change. It will be played differently because we still have game-changing features coming. For example, weapon malfunctions will change the game. The ability to be knocked out and unconscious state will also make changes to how the game is played. And this is only 2 of them out of perhaps 10 or even more big game-changing features. When he says that, we can think of Karma. We can think of the armor hitbox system. We can think about map-to-map travel. The in-game traders. The different weapon systems like the heavy weapons and the explosives and the mines. The different scav factions, because that's going to be easier access to loot and something that we need to keep in mind for the economy. Speaking of the economy, the dynamic economy events that happens with shortages and different prices of items that will pop up just kind of randomly sometimes based off of what might be happening in Tarkov lore-wise. Like someone's convoy of supplies got ambushed and then there's a shortage of something. Like that kind of a thing is going to be happening. So dynamic events like that is going to be huge too. There's lots of stuff like that. That just isn't in the game yet. So going back to what Nikita was saying here, so 100% the game will be played differently. Not different entirely, but it will be harder. It will be more hardcore, and yes, it will be different. So what he was saying there is basically the feel. So if you guys really love Escape from Tarkov, and this is going to be me paraphrasing for Nikita because obviously English isn't his first language here, but you know, trust me, I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't think it was true. And I think if he was here right now, he would actually agree with this. So take it, you know, you can take it with a grain of salt if you want to call it bullshit or whatever. Basically, I think what he's saying here is that, generally speaking, if someone likes the game right now, you will probably like the end product. Or at least you will be able to adapt to the end product, generally speaking. Unless you are playing for a very specific reason, and if that very specific reason is because of the arcadey shoot 'em up playstyle that a lot of people actually do enjoy these days. And that was another question, but that's going to be sort of a topic for another day, where if you embody the Chad lifestyle and all you care about is getting the best gear and the best guns and going and shooting everyone, then you might also have a problem. But if you actually like the movement, if you like the story, if you like the ideas that you get from if you like the idea of the gameplay that you get from Escape from Tarkov, that isn't just the Chad and everyone running around with the best guns, best armor, yeeting around, jumping around corners, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, jumping around corners, shooting again, finding loot, find your loot, you know, yeah, fuck yeah, W key, W key, W key, like anything like that. You probably are going to be able to adapt to what it is going to be. So we're waiting to see that though, but we'll see. And then going back to what Nikita was saying, right now we don't exactly have such a thing as a gameplay loop, because currently it's more of a wipe to wipe loop. We don't have the end game content yet, and we are working on it. The storyline quests, for example, those will add end game content, and with those it will be more like the way we want it to be, like how it should be played with the actual game features. So right now it's more like a testing loop from wipe to wipe. That was Nikita there, guys. Game's not done yet. Nobody has played Escape from Tarkov, again, unless you're Nikita. Except maybe Nikita in his head. So, if you guys are out here getting mad, and if you're getting your days ruined, if you're getting, you know, if you get your friendship ruined, because I've had friends that get mad at each other for weeks because they accidentally died in Tarkov because they had a fucking they had a fucking med case on them or whatever, or they accidentally forgot to bring in their gun and they get frustrated about it. If that shit's happening to you guys, stop it. Get some help. You don't need to. This isn't even the game. This is not even the end product. We are here to test these things to get ready for the actual game. So don't be doing that, guys. Take a break if you need it. And then when you get the itch, actually when or if you get the itch, that is when you really should know where you belong in terms of the community for Escape from Tarkov. If you don't get that itch to come back and play, then just don't come back and play. It's unfortunate, I hope you had some enjoyment somewhere, and if you were passionate enough about the game to get mad about it, then I'm assuming there was some kind of enjoyment somewhere in there for you. But if you don't get the itch to come back and play, then don't come back and play. And also part of that is I also think that the itch will come back at some point because you'll realize that there isn't anything else out there like Escape from Tarkov, and I think you will eventually come back anyway. But just, accept it. Just accept it and just say, you know what, I'm going to stop. And then a couple months, maybe a year later, you see that video. You see that Summit 1G clip, or you see that Shroud clip, or you see that Landmark clip, or you see that Pestily clip, or you see something Escape from Tarkov clip. Be like, damn, you know what? That does look kind of fun. All right, let me load it back up. That shit happens to everyone all the time. So, let's stop the negativity if we can. If you actually are getting angry, if you actually are angry about it, and to the point where you're trying to spread your negativity and to spread your anger about it for a game that isn't even done yet, we are testing it. Take a break. Hold that thought. Take a break. Just stop playing. And if you're disappointed, that's when you leave the feedback. When you have your clear mind, that's when you leave the feedback. And then, depending on what it is, maybe we can get to it before launch. Because most of the time, what people are complaining about is already on the they're going to do it. Like, fix your game, fix the desync, fix your servers, all that stuff. It's not a priority right now. It's just not, because we're working on other things. We're testing other things right now. So as we go on with development, there's going to be higher priorities. And then if the game is actually finished, and there's going to be, let's be honest, there is going to be a little bit of desync here and there. Depending on what server you're on, depending on your system specs, there's so many different things that go into it. There's going to be a little bit of desync in here. Markstrom, is it Markstrom? Fuck, I'm blanking on his name. I want to get his name right here because this is totally right on his end. Markstrom TV? Markstrom? Is that the streamer guy? He's friends with Deadly. Markstrom TV? Question mark? Markstrom. Yes, correct. So Markstrom TV. That's his. He's got the Raven. He's got the Raven in-game item. He had a really good point about this the other. I was about to say the other day, but this was like months ago. He had a really good point about this like months ago, which is if you are playing Escape from Tarkov for a no desync experience and like a perfect frames and like a perfect experience, you're playing for the wrong reasons, because it's likely it's never going to happen. It's very likely that it's very likely that we will never have an Escape from Tarkov with how ambitious it's going to be. That's desync free. That is the best frames. That's bug free. Bug free is practically a guarantee, because that's just all games. All games you're going to have bugs everywhere. So you need to find a different reason to play. You need to find a different reason to want to play, and a different reason for you to keep playing, or a different reason or a different goal that you can like try to achieve in game that can exist without perfect desync. That can exist without perfect conditions, really. Without it would exist. Sorry, that's the wrong. Well, that actually is what I said there was, well, it would be with desync, with bugs, with not the perfect frames, stuff like that. Which there's tons of. It's the maps, it's the experience, it's the gameplay. There's lots of other things that you can go into, which would also feed into why you wouldn't really want to go like the hardcore PvP route, because it's just going to be difficult. Now, Arena might fix that, especially if they actually accomplish what they want to accomplish, because they want to actually make sure that the server side, like the back end and the servers and the networking is actually controlled correctly and designed correctly to actually be, your quote unquote like esports ready Tarkov, with the 120 tick rate servers and the actual proper infrastructure to be able to move around quickly and stuff like that. Arena might be a different story. But until then, we're in a testing phase, guys. We're in a testing phase. It's not worth your anger. It's not worth ruining your day over. If you're not enjoying your time, take a break. AKA, that is when you want to stop playing Escape from Tarkov. When you get angry. And then again, if you get disappointed, maybe take a little bit of a break, or just leave feedback. Maybe that'll help clear your mind a little bit. And then come back if or when you feel the itch. Chances are you're going to feel the itch again. And that's it. Let me know what you guys think. That was today's topic. As usual, if you guys are new here, we do a chat Q&A after I talk about the topic. The topic usually gets everyone going. I'm sure there's plenty of people that wanted to react, or plenty of people that wanted to respond to what I was saying there, but I just wanted to get my thoughts out. and then we can discuss. So if any of you guys disagree with me, or if you had a different idea, or if you just wanted to say hi, anything, whatever you guys want to do, whatever you guys want to say to me, make sure you're using what Alexander just put there, at nice guy space Tarkov. So it'll pop up in bright orange. It'll make it very easy for me to actually see your question or to see what you want to say. So if you guys want to yell at me, whatever you want to do, at nice guy space Tarkov, like what Cryo just did there, and what, like I said with Alexander, and then a little while ago, like what Pasquale just did there. It'll pop up in bright orange and make it much easier for me to see, so that I can interact with you guys. All right. Do this so that I can see it better. And I'll turn the music up a little bit. And we'll get the slideshow going. Again, guys, if you guys wanted to add more shots to the slideshow, just a heads up. If you guys have any cool screenshots, or if you have any cool artwork or anything like that, just jump on Twitter, at @a_niceguy. Just tweet at me. Whatever the picture is, whatever you guys think is cool that should belong in the game or whatever, just tweet at me and send it my way. And as long as it's appropriate for the stream, it's not like super gory or raunchy or whatever. As long as it's appropriate for the stream, I'll add it. I'll add it to the stream. All right, let me take a sip of coffee here and we'll get going. Also, it's going to be a fucking scorcher today. It's going to be hot out. Hey, I'm going to turn my AC on. Let me see if you guys can hear that. All right. I'm going to have the AC on in the background. And if you guys don't hear that, that would be fornicating fantastic, because then I can actually be comfortable instead of burning up. And hold on. Nope, it shouldn't pick it up. I can see my mic, so it should be good. All right, cool. Let's get to it. Chat Q&A time. Chat Q&A. We love you. Hey, thanks, Cairo. Hey, Shadow. Totally agree. And if you are a bit mad, you can still practice. No, for sure, I read. The whole being angry thing, though, is it starts to pile up, and then that's when we start to get the really toxic behavior from some people. So once you're mad, if you're getting to the point where it starts to ruin your day, just take a break. Maybe the break is 5 minutes. Maybe the break is the time that it would usually take you to do one raid. Just, go outside. Take a breath of fresh air. Just kind of, just step away from the PC, because it is not worth it. It really is not worth it. Fornicate and love your speculation content, man. Okay, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Not all speculation, but a lot of it is, yeah. I don't know if that's supposed to be like your... If Rego, you can be honest. Like if that was like if that was actually like a jab about how everything's speculation, you can be honest if you wanted to say something. Like if you wanted to have a discussion about something, please do. Love these 2 p.m. streams. Yeah, it's UK time. It's 2 p.m. Yep. But the VODs are good and the Spotify is good. You should consider stop playing when your house is on fire, or your wife is mad, or your child is crying, or you're bored or frustrated. Yeah, all that stuff is probably a good idea to step away. To step away from the piece. Yes, if your house is on fire, you probably don't need to worry about that raid that you're doing in Tarkov. Missed all of that. If you can repeat it, good one. I'm not. You can rewind it. You can rewind it, Vortex. Because that's not happening. Sorry. You can rewind it, or you can check the VOD, or you can check Spotify later. How do you feel about the current state of Tarkov's armor system? Like, dislikes. It's not that I dislike it. It's just that I know it's not done. Connor L. I know there is more to come, and I want to see what's happening. Like, as we're seeing the armor plates pop up here on the back in the slideshow here, I know what's to come for it. So I want to see that, and then I can give my opinions on that. Everything else is placeholder for right now. So I'm perfectly content in playing the game right now. I don't think it's like broken. I'm perfectly capable of. Excuse me, of enjoying the game with how it is right now. So I don't see any reason with just keeping it as placeholder until you get the future armor systems that are planned. As someone still getting used to mouse and keyboard, would you recommend them buying Tarkov? That's a really good question. It's more of a personal question, because they would need to figure out on if they are I actually talked about this. It was either 3 days ago or 4 days ago or something like that. I've talked about this recently. if you guys go and do an aim trainer, and not everyone can go and do aim trainers, but there are some free ones out there. But basically, if you consider yourself an average first-person shooter skill level, like if you consider yourself like a 50% percentile, whatever you want to call that, an average capability first-person shooter player with mouse and keyboard, I would say then you can start playing Tarkov. You would really start getting into Tarkov because there's a hell of a lot more things to learn in Tarkov than gun skill. And that all takes time. It all takes time, so that the sooner that you get into it, the better. But you do need that initial gun skill to be able to, you know, survive. So I would say if you are an average first-person shooter player with mouse and keyboard, then you should be okay to start. You should be okay to start your journey with Escape from Tarkov. When will new patch come? Check out my 12.11 video. Check out, I've made a couple videos with that. Actually, was it my most recent video? My most recent video should answer that in detail, so go check that out. Tarkov ruined my sex life personally. That sounds like a you problem. Also a topic that we talked about earlier. That we talked about the other day. I'm sorry to hear that, but that does sound like a you problem. You should probably stop playing. Yeah, yeah, you should probably take a break. There, Geo. My quest before was, I'm assuming you mean question there. Yeah. Do you think that high flesh ammo needs a buff against? Do you think that high flesh ammo needs a buff against ammo? If you have, if yes, have you any idea? Red, take a look over that. I'm assuming you've already re-asked that question because I don't know what you're trying to ask there. I don't know. If you think, if you just want to know if I think that hollow point ammo or heavy flesh damage ammo needs a buff, no. I think that's fine. I think it's fine where it is. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to check out what people have been doing with the KS-23 and the Vector. And like meta. Do you think the rework to the lore quests endgame? It's not a rework. It's the implementation of the initial features. So it's not. Yeah, there is no rework to be done for the lore quests and the endgame because they don't exist yet. But yeah, so is something that they are actively trying to correct or better every patch, or is this going to be a dump of quests and what? No. So I'm having a bit of a hard time grasping what your thought process there is with it. So I'll just basically, it seems like your general problem is, or your general question is, J Bunny Gaming, you want to know what's going on with the lore quests, and the only answer that you should care about is that they're coming. They are not in the game yet. They don't exist. The end game does not exist yet. That lore does not exist yet. It is not in the game yet. And they are coming. They're being worked on. Nikita has actually written the lore already. They're just waiting to be implemented. So soon TM. And that should be good. I know Clean has mentioned this, but thoughts on making the secure container lock so when you enter a raid you can't put things in it but use stuff you brought in. Jamie Painter, if that's how you say your first name there, sorry if I butchered it. That's one of those things that I don't think we need it in the game. I just genuinely don't think we need it. I just don't. It's my opinion. So it's just that if you want to ask me, that's my opinion. I don't think we need to do that. I really don't. And there's some stuff that went along with that I was just about to say. Shoot, what was it? Maybe they could pop it up on the ETS server, but I wouldn't know. So maybe that's something that they can test, but I really don't think they need it. And that's my thought on it. But we'll see. We'll see and if they end up doing it, I'm gonna adapt. It's not the end of the world. I will adapt to it because I know that I play the game more than just to be able to hide stuff in my container. Hell, these days I barely put anything in my container. I just have my meds in there, so nothing would change really for me. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. Idea I had was Black Division would be in nighttime streets and hunt down PMCs equipped with high quality MVGs, weapons and armor with same spawn chances cultists. We don't know anything about the Black Division, period. But if they are to be portrayed the way that they are portrayed in the Raid series, then these guys are going to be uber badasses. And to have them just be around hunting people, I think would be too OP. But we'll see. We don't know what the plan is going to be with them. We did have a very interesting. So I took a note of this the other day with if Brian is in the chat today, if CR117 Brian's in the chat, he brought this up. But it was kind of like in cooperation with One Peg. Maybe it was Brian's idea, maybe it wasn't. But I do need to give One Peg a shout out if this does end up getting out, because he did have a somewhat similar idea. But I talked to Peg and he said that it was different. He did have a pretty different idea there, where the Black Division would be what happens at the timer. And that would be absolutely insane. So instead of the timer ticking down and then you go MIA, the timer ticks down and then another timer pops up, or it just kind of like something cool happens, like almost like a zombie mode. Like, you guys know when the round ends and it switches to the new round, it's just like a new kind of like a sound effect starts or whatever, and the Black Division boys are coming for you. So you will have those extra few seconds. Like, if you were right at the extract, you will have those extra few seconds to get out of there, but they are hunting you at that point. So if you stay in there for another minute or so or whatever, then you will be fighting the Black Division boys, and they're going to be on the map fighting you. That would be fucking awesome. That would be really cool. That would be a lot of fun if that ends up being the case. But that's speculation. That's not planned. We haven't heard anything going on with the Black Division yet, period. So I just think that would be really cool if that's ended up what ends up happening. What is your thought about people getting 40 within the first week of the wipe? It's testing environment, Pencil. So that'll be going away, and that's exactly what we kind of talked about from Nikita there earlier. It's a testing environment. They want to have people be able to access stuff. So they want to slow people down a little bit, and I think next wipe we are going to see some people get slowed down just a little bit. But again, we are here to test things, and they want access to those things. So shit like that's going to happen sometimes. Before the game's finished in this testing environment, I mean. How would you feel if the factory update doesn't actually wipe like they said? I'd be disappointed, of course, because I think what's going to happen with that is they wouldn't wipe until Streets. So I've talked about that, Garrock. I've talked about that several times already, and I'm already playing the game very little these days, but it doesn't mean I stopped liking the game. I still love to talk about it. I'm just bored with it. I've been playing. I have several thousand hours. I have no idea. I mean, I have some of an idea because it's like literally their living. Like, my point here with my channel and stuff like that is I don't want the only content for me to be able to provide is gameplay, because there's times when I just don't feel like playing. Like, I want to play something else. I'm just a gamer in general. So if I don't want it to be that if I don't feel like playing Tarkov, then I can't talk about or I can't do something that day. So I haven't played in a few days. I haven't played Tarkov in a few days. In fact, I probably missed some insurance from the last time I played, but I'm just like, fuck it at this point. Because I have several thousand hours. It's almost every single fight that I get into is like easy for me. Like, even if I end up dying in the fight, this is gonna be hard to explain. And if you guys think this is bullshit, then it's okay. I completely understand your point. I'm gonna probably butcher the explanation of this. But my friends that have played with me and the people that have watched me stream will know exactly what I'm talking about here. I've just been there, done that. On every map, on every fight, with every gun, every armor, every type of enemy ever. I've just been there, done that. So chances are I know exactly what that person is gonna do the second they start shooting at me or the second that I see them. And most of the time, I'm right. And it just gets boring. So it's just like, all right, I see that person's using that gun, and based on how they came at me a little bit, maybe it sounds like maybe they're probably hurt, or maybe they don't have enough ammo, or something like that. It's just whatever the situation might be, I'm most of the time correct in thinking what that person is about to do. Because most of the time, it's a newer player to the game. They might not know the map. They might not know the weapons as well. They might not know what they're doing that well. And then when I do play a peer-to-peer player, most of the time I can tell that they're based off of how they came at me or how I saw them move and stuff like that. And I can still sort of guess what they're about to do, because I can say, like, okay, the way that this person's moving and the way they're equipped, they probably know what they're doing, so they're probably going to want to do this. And then I can play that way. And it just doesn't leave anything extra for me to do. It doesn't leave me any progression. Like, I've literally, the best way to explain it is been there, done that. So it gets boring for me. And I love the game as it is. I just need more to do. And I'm not going to go complaining about needing more to do because I know it's coming. So I'm just going to wait. And that's actually a perfect topic for today because I'll just stop playing. And what I do like doing is helping people. So I had a buddy that popped up the other day who just got Escape from Tarkov. He just got his computer in the past couple months. And he picked up Escape from Tarkov a couple weeks ago. And so I ran him through the loops. And those of you guys that haven't noticed my EFT Like a Pro playlist, I have helped dozens. I have literally, I was the first Escape from Tarkov friend in all of my friend groups. So as the years went by, if anyone ended up buying Escape from Tarkov, I was their guy. If any of them ended up getting into Escape from Tarkov, they came to me. I taught them. I was their first Sherpa, and I've gotten very good at that process of getting people through the first days and the first few raids and getting them to understand Escape from Tarkov. And I actually genuinely really enjoy that. So I had a lot of fun teaching my buddy how to get into Escape from Tarkov. Also, he hasn't died yet. I did a duo with him. I've done a few scav raids with him. And then we started doing a couple 5-mans because some of my other friends saw that we were playing, and then we started playing. He's done like 7 raids, and he hasn't died yet. So I'm trying to get the right information to him by telling him, like, no, this game fucking, it's tough. Trust me. It's very difficult. You're going to hate it at some point. No, wait, trust me, dude. You are going to hate it. He's like, and he hasn't died. He literally hasn't died. He hasn't died in a scav raid. He hasn't died in a PMC raid, period. And first raid, didn't die, all the way up to the 7th raid, didn't die, and he has a ton of money and stuff. So, so yeah, it's just fun. It's just cool. So I don't know what put me on that tangent. I don't know what put me there, but hopefully it made sense and hopefully I answered your question, whoever's question I was trying to answer. What are your thoughts about Rivals the other day? It was a lot of fun to watch. As a fan of Escape from Tarkov, it was a ton of fun to watch. I really enjoyed it, and I was actually jealous that I didn't try to take part in it because I am an affiliate over there. I would have had a lot of fun playing in that. But I didn't like how people ended up treating each other. I didn't like how there was a lot of... So if someone ended up sitting in a bush a little bit, and there's still memes that are popping up from it. So if someone ended up camping a corner, or if someone ended up needing to do something because they were overweight, or they got stuck in a corner or whatever, it turned into a lot of toxicity for the chats specifically. Players all love each other fine. Players are fine. None of the players have a problem with one another, period. None of them. They all got in a group chat. Everyone was talking to each other after that, and they were kind of making fun of people that were doing that. So the chat, it was just the community were the only people that were like angry about how it ended up working out. So that's why I'm here doing the stuff that I'm doing, so that I can talk to you guys and kind of work through some of that. And I really hope that changes by launch, because I just hate to see stuff like that pop up. So I've talked about that numerous times about like how just for some reason or another, communities, it's much easier for people to be negative on the internet than positive these days. So it's just, I don't like it. And hopefully that changes by launch. But generally speaking, without the shit show that ended up happening with the toxic chat and people going over to other chats to call them names and harass them and stuff like that, I loved it. I loved the tournament. The tournament was really fun to watch, and I wish I had figured out a way to get into it, because I would have had a blast doing it. Do you think they'll be able to inject more of the social elements BSG wants with PMCs, allying with scabs? Oh, for sure. With Karma and with VoIP, that's going to be the first steps there, and we'll see how much that adds. I think it's going to be significant, so we'll see. Excuse me. I think with the PMC Karma, specifically, and VoIP, I think that's going to be a significant change, and we'll see if we need more than that, but I think that'll do it right there, but we'll see. I feel like you should be able to use all ammo, even if 4 months into a wipe, and not that everyone level 4 or higher armor is all safe from high damage ammo. Yeah, man, if you use leg meta, I'm red. I think you're looking for leg meta there, bud. Guys, I'm super behind because I just kind of went on a rant for a couple of those questions, so I'm super behind. I'm just going to skip ahead. I apologize profusely if I missed your question, but I did go on like 2 big rants there on a couple of those questions, so I need to skip ahead to see if I can just keep up with you guys. So I'm going to skip ahead, and I'm going to start with Extraneous. I used to be an official battle state Sherpa, and I'm at that same stage too. I quit and hardly play anymore. There are no new experiences. We've played any and all the content in the game, for sure. And that's why I never became an official Sherpa. I knew that I had enough. I had my plate full as it was already. So I had lots of friends. I had that Arma group. I'm still in an Arma group right now that has hundreds of people in it. I have all my friends from all across the internet, from all the different RTS games, the MMOs, the sim games, everything that I've been in groups with for the past years. So I've lost count, but there's like dozens of people that I've been helping with Escape from Tarkov, and I'm still that guy. And I wouldn't be doing this channel, and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I didn't have those friends. So yeah, it was really cool. I never did the official Sherpa thing, but I'm constantly Sherpa minded, and I consider myself a Sherpa. Even though I don't have the green name, or is it emissary that's a green name, or is it Sherpa that's a green? I think it's green for because it's the handshake, the green handshake, isn't that Sherpa? I think, yeah. Even though I don't have a green name, I still consider myself one of those peeps. Best PvP map, labs excluded. Probably customs right now. Customs is pretty hot right now. I'd say, yeah, probably customs. We do get into some interesting fights very often on customs. Everyone want to know about Tarkov look like in the future. I want everyone to watch 2016, uploaded 4 years ago on the YouTube channel. Yeah, maybe there's a lot that goes into that one, but specifically Regis, because we're on my channel, I've made 2 videos very recently that go into that. So ideally, I would say go watch my video because it is based off of that stuff. Also, it might give you the right ideas if you go and you look back at that, because you don't exactly know what they're still, where they want to put what and stuff like that. So yes, if you are very interested, you can go look at the 2016 report. If you just go to the Battlestate Games YouTube channel, in fact, and you go to one of their first videos, if not their first video, should be that 2016 report. It shows a lot of crazy shit. Like, it shows like I think it shows the grenade launcher. I think it shows the double barrel. I think it shows a bunch of crazy stuff. I know it shows some of the early streets, because the streets that they ended up scrapping, which we're going to go into a huge, I don't want to go into all this because this is a huge topic here. But long story short, they ended up making streets. They almost finished one iteration of streets, like the full ass map streets, but then they scrapped it all and they restarted it because they didn't like how it performed. So I think it had some of that. I think it showed some lock picking animations with the multi-tool, bunch of shit like that. So yeah, but I would definitely check out my video that I made the other day, because it takes all of that and more into account, and it kind of, well, for one, it's going to be in English, because the 2016 is in Russian, if I'm thinking of the right one. So my video is at least in English, and it kind of puts it all together in a easier to digest way. If they don't wipe with the factory, then wouldn't the most likely wipe be Lighthouse? It would be, except that not really Garrick. So I've talked about this many times already. If you go and you check out my video about my or sorry, it was a stream, but I called it my speculative timeline for 2021 for Escape from Tarkov. It was like last week or something like that. I literally show you exactly why that wouldn't make sense. And then now, since we know that Lighthouse is in the gray box phase, it makes even less sense, because they want to wipe with streets. So unless they only have one wipe for the entirety of 2021, and we end up getting it in like, we're not going to get streets until like August. We're not going to get streets until like August, until the fall, really. So what? We're going to have 4 more months? We're going to have 4 more months on this same wipe when everyone, like, with a significant amount of people wanting it right now? Or does it make more sense for them to wipe in the next month at most, and then have 6 months? They don't really need to worry too much about getting streets out before December. Just with December, with the end of the year there, they can have patch 13 out with streets, and they can still accomplish their goal of having it out this year, and they could do it on a wipe and have it actually make sense. So that's why I worded it that way. So 12.11 makes sense because it makes sense. It makes sense for the timeline. It makes sense for the content. It makes sense just for the content. Did I say content twice? I don't know. It just makes sense. So I've talked about it, like I've literally had like half an hour discussions where I explain why that's the case. I'm not just saying it to say it. There's actual thoughts behind all this stuff. So go check that out. And that's it. If anyone has any other questions about the wipe, I've made videos. I've talked about it. I've talked enough about it. People have started to give me shit saying that I'm trying to hype up the wipe or whatever. I'm not. I'm just trying to get you guys the information. And you guys keep coming in here and asking about it, so I just keep trying to answer it. But I'm done. I'm just going to direct you guys to that podcast that I did, or the 12.11 video that I did. We need you in the next podcast with Nikita. Nope, because I will shit my pants live on television. And yes, I know it's not television, but I'm still gonna call it television. I've talked about that in the past too. I'm not good with people. I'm good with talking about Tarkov by myself here because I'm not talking over anyone. I'm terrified of doing a live show with someone because as you guys know, when I get like on a roll and when I want to talk about something, it's very difficult to shut me up basically. So I need to practice. So I'm going to have some people that I've worked with in the past that I've literally actually worked with in the past for day jobs, and they know me and they know the content, and I'm going to get them on here first, and I'm going to do some test runs with them. Because I'm friendly enough with them, they can just talk over me, and they have their own like special cues and stuff like that I understand when I'm talking too much, or they just need to say their piece or whatever. So I'm gonna practice with them live first, and then I'm gonna go into people that might give me shit if I end up talking over them. Hopefully that makes sense. Because it's difficult to get me to shut up on stuff I'm passionate about. And that is definitely not the place to do it. So I'm glad I was able to get the text. I got the answers. I got to get my questions to Nikita, and we're good. Remember, is you want your question answered, if you guys want your questions answered, yeah. But we're heading up on to 10 here, so this will be a lightning round. Would you promote a monthly sub like others MMO to have super good servers and GM monitored sessions for cheaters issues? They kind of already do that though. I know they don't have GMs, but no, they're already on that. They're already on that for sure. Interesting idea though, Staggy. I haven't really thought too much into that, so I don't really have a specific answer. I just think that that's an interesting way to think of it. And to switch up to a sub mode, just to like a sub, what would it be mode? It wouldn't be mode. What would it be? Method to a subscription method right now. I think it'd be kind of weird. So maybe in a couple years, so like let's say the game launches and then a couple years after it launches, that would be the time when they would start to think about stuff like that. But right now, I don't think it would make sense to do that right. I mean, yeah, you can make an argument for it, but I don't think they would do something like that right now. Do you think scav plus PNC extracts should be changed to simply 2-player extracts? No, because it makes sense in Karma. That makes it. It's going to have its place in Karma. So wait to see what happens with the Karma stuff. Green is Sherpa, purple is Hamster. Yep, thanks Holes. Thanks Shoals. My question was, he talked about armor plates. I have no idea what you're talking about there, man. I'll scroll up real quick and see if I can find it. Yeah, man, I don't know. Re-ask your question. I looked up. I couldn't even see you in the chat, dude. So simply re-ask your question if I didn't get to it. Zip Tie, how you doing, man? I think you said something about Star Citizen. What'd you say? I'm loving Star Citizen. Are you getting involved with the Invictus Week? Yes, Zip Tie. Stay tuned. Zip Tie, look at the member section on YouTube. Look at the member post I did. For sure. Check out the member post I did. You're on fucking crack if you think Streets is in the fall. Am I on crack because I think it's too soon or too late, Nick G? Also, change your tone just a little bit, dude. Change your tone just a little bit. I'm open to having discussions. I'm cool if you disagree with me, but change your tone just a little bit. So, am I on crack because I think it's too early or too late? That would make it better. I hope I made sense with whatever I said because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know specifically what you're referring to there, Alhop. I'm sure you would be fine. Just do what you love. We support. Yeah, but Kitty, it's different than that. It's a long story. What are your thoughts about Hideout? I appreciate it though, Kitty. What are your thoughts about Hideout? I just don't like how it is in one giant crafting table. It's like everything in Tarkov right now. It's a work in progress. So there's a lot more coming with the Tarkov. There's a lot more coming with the Hideout right now. There's a lot more coming with the Hideout just right now. They're testing some things with it, like they are with everything. So the giant crafting table. So, you mean the workbench? Because you can craft with the nutrition unit and with the lavatory and with the med station. So I actually don't know what you mean there, Catster. Do you mean just the workbench specifically, or elaborate for me? A lot more scenes. We never see in more understandable in the full raid series. Love it. Yeah, for sure, Regis. I still haven't seen it. I almost wanted to have it be a watch together today with that, but I wanted to get to today's topic. Yeah, I need to go and watch that. How long do you think EFT is going to last? I love the game, and sometimes I think about how it's going to end up like Modern Warfare 2, for example, just a thing of the past. Well, Modern Warfare 2 launched. Escape from Tarkov hasn't launched yet. And Modern Warfare 2, that is an amazing, you know, thing to call it for me at least, and I'm sure I'm not alone because I fucking loved Modern Warfare 2. So, if you genuinely think like it's like that, Joel, I think your mindset is going towards taking a break soon. So, like, it's in development. We have a long way to go. It's not done yet. And like I mentioned earlier, this is not Escape from Tarkov. The game is not done yet. And according to even literally Nikita himself, this is not done. This is not Escape from Tarkov. So we can't even say that we have played Escape from Tarkov yet because nobody has, except for maybe Nikita in his head. So when the game actually launches, when they say it's done, and then we see what it's like, then we can start to say, okay, this is shit or whatever. We need to change this or whatever. Not this is shit, but you guys know what I mean. Give feedback on that. Specifically, I almost just spilled my coffee because I swung my hand around. Sorry, cursing is my second language. No aggression here. I meant that super early, brother. Yeah, no problem, Nick. No problem, man. Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. Just super early. I disagree because of what because last year Streets was supposed to be out last year. Also, given what Nikita said most recently, which is we are going to see at least part of Streets this year, which means that they're open to segmenting it. I forget when I talked about this specifically, but since this is important, let me pull this up real quick. Streets is in parts. So we have seen those two teases so far, and I know it's for a reason, and I know it's because, and not because I know what BSG are doing, but because I know dev process. It's because they split up the map in parts to actually finish finish one part and then add another part, because that's what they do with Escape from Tarkov too. So we've had an expansion for every single map. Every single map has had things added to it, and they want to get at least part of Streets out this year. Where is it? So here it is. What we could very likely end up seeing is part of Streets, and they end up doing it this year. But there's going to be more coming with it, because there's a lot of features. There's a lot of features that are coming with Streets that they need to test. There's going to be a lot of specific features and a lot of things that happen with Streets that they want to be able to test, and they want to be able to get that out there. All right, so let's move over to this real quick, and we'll make this a bit smaller. So my theory, I think I talked about this in my most recent video. My theory is something like this. We can go over here. So we have these other work in progress pictures, like this here. Let me do this actually too. So, look familiar? This is this street right here. Actually, wait. Oh, you know what? They've changed this up significantly. No, actually, no, they haven't. This is the construction building from tease number 2. This is the supermarket from tease number 2. This building right here. Oh, what am I doing? You guys can't see my fucking mouse, can you? Fuck, I'm an idiot. Now you can. This is the construction building from tease number 2. This is the supermarket from tease number 2, and this is the car dealership from tease number 2. This is where the scab boss, at least the first scab boss, is going to be. And then this is a different angle of it. So we have the car dealership, and this is the car dealership that they used for inspiration there. And then this is the supermarket. This is the supermarket that they used for inspiration. And then this is the construction building. That's the construction building that they used for inspiration there. And that's tease 2. Like, tease 2 went up this street right here. Tease 2 was, so we had those apartment buildings that were over here, and then we came around the corner here. Here, let me get this. We came around the corner over here, and then we came up this. We looked at this, and then we came down this street. Or sorry, we went into this apartment building that would be over here. But we came up the street like this in tease number 2, and then we went up this street. This is the whole area in tease number 2. So I could see that along with tease number 1. The street for tease number 1 is over here. And we don't have a very good look at that specifically. There is a picture somewhere of the building that we first looked at. But yeah, for T's number 1, we were on the street over here. And then we like looked out this way. And then we came into an arch. We came under an arch over here. And then we walked into this building over here. This whole area right here was T's number 1. This is the building from T's number 1. And then we walked up the street. And then that, again, that section over there is T's number 2. That section is... I already lost it. Hold on. You guys see what I mean, though. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick again. I can. Here we go. So this street right here is that. That's the car dealership. I don't know where this big building is coming from because it's not there for this one. Oh, yes, it is. It's that one right there. Never mind. So that's that big building there. That's the supermarket right there that you're seeing, and that's the construction building. So the T's went like this. So T's number 1's right here, and then we walked under here, and then into this building here, and then T's number 2 was us literally this street corner. Again, T's number 1's right here, and then T's number 2 started with us right here on this street corner, and then we came around, and then we came up this street. That's T's number 2. So if I had to guess, if they were going to break up streets, there's going to be a part over here. There's going to be some more buildings over here on this side because we saw them on streets. We saw them on T's number 1. My guess, my speculation, my theory, whatever, is if they're going to end up breaking up streets, then we're going to have these buildings over here somewhere, and then we're going to have all this, and we're going to have that, which ends up being this area over here. And then what might not end up showing up are these guys over here. And that's what we had show up with when I made streets in Unreal Engine. If you guys haven't seen that video, I made, based off of the pictures that we've seen, I went and made a streets map in 3D in Unreal Engine. Yes, I know Escape from Tarkov is Unity. I know it doesn't matter. I know Unreal Engine, so I went and I blocked it out with Unreal Engine. This is all the same street. So this is one street here, and then these are all together, I think, right? So I can just I can just do this. Where am I? Oh, can I not? Actually, hold on. Yep, yes I can. That's interchange. Okay, here we go. So this street right here is this street. So all that happened here is if you're picturing... Actually, you know what? We can say that this is the guy here. You see this guy right here? Picture that this is us, and then you're going to turn about 45 degrees to your left, and this is what we're looking at. So this street is this street right here. This building is this building. And then you go up the street a little bit more down that way. See that helicopter right there? That's this helicopter. They didn't move the helicopter for the shots that they took. So this is the street up here. That's the same. Again, same street. Notice that building right there. See this weird looking building with the darker tan and then the lighter tan? It's that building right there. So again, same street, same area. And then there's that building again. Same building, end of the street down there, just more over here. It's segmented. It's all broken up. And then if we go down to the left, if we take a left right there on that street, which would be right here. If we took now where we're oriented, it would be a right. If we took a right down this street, we would end up over eventually, where would it be? It would be like here on this map. So if we ended up taking a right down this street, this isn't the car dealership. Maybe it ends up being the car dealership, maybe. Actually, no, what would it be? It would be, no, it wouldn't. This would be behind the car dealership. This building right here. So that blue building right here would be behind. It'd be like in this opening up here. Or this opening right here would probably be a better view. It'd be like over here. And then if we ended up going down that street, we'd be right here. And then again, this is T's number 2, this street right here. And this is T's number 1 with this street. And then if you went up this street and then over here, that's from before. That's this street right here. So they could segment it. They could break it up all into all these different pieces. And maybe we get all 3 of these pieces. Maybe we only get 1. Maybe we get 2. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably going to be the 2 that we saw from the T's. It's probably going to be the 2 that we saw from the T's, but whatever. We'll see what ends up happening with that. But that's my theory with that. All right, grab one last question here. I wonder if one day EFT will have benchmark mode on the settings menu. Oh, I guarantee it. They're going to need it because especially with all the hype that they're getting from NVIDIA and Unity in general, people are probably going to use Streets as like a benchmark for sure. But we already do. You do see your frames and stuff, so I think you kind of already can do that if you press F1 in game. Joel, check that out. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today because I want to keep these to an hour. I usually keep these to an hour. So had a really cool discussion today about when to stop playing Tarkov, and then we just got into a bunch of other cool stuff. So as always, I really appreciate talking to you guys. Thank you guys very much for hanging out. But for the latest Escape from Tarkov news, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Got some videos in the works. I'm going to have something cool pop up this weekend. I'm going to stay tuned to Twitter, which while I'm here, let me just double check. Boop, boop, boop. Doesn't look like they've said anything yet, but I think today is definitely an interesting day to stay tuned to the BSG Twitter because they could say something interesting. So, and of course, if they do say anything, expect me to talk about it on the channel. So, thank you guys very much for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. with another Good Morning Tarkov. But until then, guys, I love you, and I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.